Okay, so we're gonna start, please, with the uh, purpose and function type of question. Okay, from the reading section. Remember that today we're gonna have all the theory regarding reading. We've done that on Tuesday, I guess. So we're gonna do purpose and function questions. Okay. So here, basically, we ask the question why certain information is in the text. Not very frequent. One or zero questions. That means that if we have 10 questions, that means that it's either 10% or 0% of the questions. Then you also can, of course, infer that if you have this question once, you're not going to have that question anymore in the same passage. Related question to the overall picture. Why does the author use the word X? Okay, so basically, here's an example of that. Let's see who can help us read. Alejandra, can you please help us read from the beginning till the end?
Okay, an even more exciting find was reported in 1994, also from Pakistan. The now extinct whale Ambulocetus natans, the walking whale that swam, lived in the Deadly Seas 49 million years ago. It lived around 3 million years after Palsicetus, but 9 million years before Basilosaurus. The fossil Leuclali includes a good portion of the hind legs. The legs were strong and end in long feet, very much like those of a modern pinniped. The legs were certainly functional both on land and at sea. The whale retained a tail and lacked a fluke, the major means of locomotion in modern cetaceans. The structure of the backbone shows, however, that Ambulocetus swam like modern whales by moving the rear portion of its body up and down, even though a fluke was missing. The large hind legs were used for propulsion in water. On land, where it probably bred and gave birth. Ambulocetus may have moved around very much like a modern sea lion. It was undoubtedly a whale that lived on land with life and sea.
Thank you very much. Okay, so the question is, why does the author use word luckily? Mentioning, please, mentioning, wait, hold on. So the question is, why does the author use the word luckily, mentioning does Ambulositos fossil include hind legs? Okay, so that's the question. And this type of question, of course, the example is sort of difficult. They're talking about Ambulositos. It's sort of strange. But we can deduce that. Anybody knows the answer here?
Sí.
See, the discovery allowed scientists to reconstruct the skeleton of the whale. Okay. Any other opinion here? Any other opinion? Okay, they're talking about a finding in 1994, right? The extinct whale, Ambrositos, the walking whale that swam. Of course, they're talking about a species that no longer exists. It lived around 3 million years after Pachycetus, but 9 million years before Basilosaurus. Okay, so they're talking about, luckily, the fossil luckily includes a good portion of the hind legs. The legs were strong and then long feet, very much so like those of modern. im- im- The legs were certainly functional both on land and at sea. The whales retain a tail and lack fluke, the major means of locomotion in modern cetaceans. Okay. Mhm. So basically, they include, luckily. You're saying that it luckily includes a good portion of the hind legs. Uh, Hind legs means the legs from behind. Okay. By the way. Okay. So the hind legs are the legs of behind. The back limbs. Okay. So the back legs. Okay. So that's hind legs. So they mentioned luckily, and then they start saying that it has certain characteristics. Uh, Basically, so in this case, why does
B.
the author what?
It's letter B, the second.
Yes, that's right. It's letter B. You're right. Okay, can you please tell us why is B?
Because is a they explain about legs, and that is the discover of the evolution of the whales.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so certainly it's B. Okay, fossil legs of early whales are very fine. No, that's not the case. Doesn't say that. It's B. The discovery allows scientists to reconstruct the skeleton of a whale. It doesn't say that again, so it's not C. Until that time, only front legs of early whales had been discovered. Again, doesn't mention that exactly. So it's letter B. They legs provided important information about the evolution of cetaceans. Okay, so that's the answer here. It's B. Okay, so any question until here? Could be a word that you don't understand. Any vocabulary question? Of course, it's kind of hard, this text, but that's the way the
Teacher,
TOEFL
what does
is.
it mean, pinniped, modern pimped? I don't know if it's double N or M.
Okay,
The legs were strong and ended in long feet, very much like those of a
it's
modern.
double N. It's double N. So it's pinniped it's a word that you are not supposed to know, okay? Because it's a hard word, okay? Modern pinniped basically means any group of mammals, okay? So that's the meaning, a group of mammals.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, it's a very, very academic word. You're not supposed to know that, but good question.
It's like a
okay,
scientific word, so it's like a
Yes.
specific professional, vocabulary.
Yes, that's right. Okay. Any other question? Okay, no more questions then. We're gonna move on. Paraphrase question. Okay, here you need to restate the sentence in different words. Choose answers that are missing information. Beware of switch roles in relationships. Okay, here you also have 1 or 0 questions. That's missing. You have 1. Why it's missing that? You have 1 or 0 questions per passage. Okay. So basically, when you need to paraphrase that. So let's have can you please, Benjamin, can you please read from the beginning till the end?
Yes. So it says, in some ways, the social makeup of the two parties was similar. To be competitive in winning votes, Whigs and Democrats both had to have significant support among farmers, the largest group in society, and workers. Neither party could win an election by appealing exclusively to the rich or the poor. The Whigs, however, enjoyed disproportionate strength among the business and commercial classes. Whigs appealed to planters who needed credit to finance their cotton and rice trade in the world market, to farmers who were eager to sell their surpluses, and to workers who wished to improve themselves. Democrats attracted farmers isolated from the market or uncomfortable with it. Workers alienated from the emerging industrial system, and rising entrepreneurs wanting to break monopolies and open the economy to newcomers like themselves. The Whigs were strongest in the towns, cities, and those rural areas that were fully integrated into the market economy, whereas Democrats dominated areas of semi-subsistence farming that were more isolated and languishing economically.
Okay, so here where we have this highlighted part, we have this question. Which of the sentences below best expresses the essential information in the highlighted sentence in the passage? Whigs were able to attract support only in the wealthiest parts of the economy because Democrats dominated in other areas. Whigs and Democrats' area of influence were naturally split between urban and rural areas, respectively. The semi-subsistence farming areas dominated by Democrats became increasingly isolated by the Whigs' control of the market economy. The Democrats' power was greatest in poorer areas, while the Whigs were strongest in those areas where the market was already fully operating. Okay, so anybody has an idea of what could be the answer here?
I think it's B because it says Whig and Democratic areas of influence were naturally split between urban and rural areas, respectively. It's like the main information of the paragraph because it says like it describes a little bit more where does Whigs are supported better and where does Democratic in like a demographic area.
Okay. Okay, so you say B and you have your facts there. Any other person who has a different opinion, maybe? Is it A, B, C, or D? Let me try this. I'm gonna try this. Okay, hold on. A, B, C, or D. Okay, so I'm gonna make a poll, okay? So that I know what you think. Okay. So please answer. What do you think? It's A, B, C, or D? Okay, I have two answers. Okay. Okay, 5 people responded until now. Please the rest. Okay. I have 6. There are 2 people missing. Okay. Anybody else here? There's 1 person missing. Okay, but I have, okay, thank you very much. I have 3 people who said, I have 3 people who say it's D. Who are the 3 people who say it's D? Letter D. I have these answers. 4 that say that it's B, 1 that says that it's C, and 3 that say that it's D. Who are the 3 who say, okay, Alejandro, you're 1. Who else? Okay, Benjamin, who else? Okay, I have one more. Okay, thank you very much, Noelia. Okay, you are the 3. Okay, so any of you, can you please explain to me why it's D for you? Can you please do it, Alejandra?
I think because the Democrats are interesting in the areas that is rural, the farmers and people who needs money from the cities, and the Whigs were strongest because they are in the market in the cities, and that I think that is for that reason.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so that's right. Okay, so it's B actually. It's B. So let's see. First of all, any question regarding any meaning here? Any vocabulary question? Anybody? Doesn't matter if it's a basic question. Remember, we're not in English advanced class. We're in a TOEFL class, so probably you don't understand some words here. Okay. No questions. 0 questions. You can ask. It'd be great if you asked. Okay, no questions. So, first of all, I'm gonna clarify, even if nobody really asked about it, subsistence farming. What's semi-subsistence farming? It's like when you produce mainly the feed the family, okay, the farm family, okay, so that's semi-subsistent farming with very little surplus. Okay, so basically when you have a farm for your family, you own a farm and you produce enough basically for your family. You have very little to sell for the rest. You understand that? It's like you're a very small farm, right? You're not producing like a lot of goods. You're only producing for your family to survive, right? You understand that, okay? So that's subsistence farming, okay? You basically produce for you and your family enough. There's not much surplus there for in order to sell, okay? So that's something that I wanted to clarify. So here it says that we're weak, we're strongest in towns and cities, in those rural areas where where they're fully integrated into the market economy. Okay, so that's where they were strong. Okay, so basically, if we divide into, let's say, urban and rural, let's say that let's say this is urban areas, and this is rural areas. Okay, so weeks basically were very strong in here, but I also have a very significant portion here. Yeah, okay, hold on. They have a very significant portion here as well. Okay, so if this is urban and this is rural, here you have the weeks, right? So they have a very significant portion of the rural areas because they were strong in rural areas where the market was where they were fully integrated into the market economy. So B is not correct, right? Because in B it says that they were naturally split between urban and rural areas. But as you can see, rural areas are not like completely dominated by Democrats because you have some rural areas that support the Whigs. Okay, so that's why it is not correct. Okay, so that's the answer for why it's not B. Why is not A? Even though nobody said it was A, but the Whigs were able to attract support only in the wealthiest parts of the economy. Okay, it's true that they attracted support from the wealthiest parts, but not only in the wealthiest parts. Okay, they're not talking about only in the wealthiest parts of the economy because they had widespread support in towns, cities, and rural areas. So not only, so this word basically ruins everything. Okay, the semi-subsistence farming areas dominated by Democrats became increasingly isolated by the weak control of the market economy. Okay, this is completely wrong. They're not talking about this area being isolated. They're talking about support. Who supports whom, basically. Okay, so this is, of course, not true. And D is correct because it says that Democrats' power was greater in poor areas while Whigs were strongest in those areas where the market was already fully operating. And that's true. Even if the market is in rural areas, because you have rural areas where the market were fully integrated into the market economy. Okay, so that's where the weak support was. Okay. Any question? Is it clear? Okay, no questions, fellas, okay? Let's go to reference question. What does this, they, it, him, etc. refer to? Read one or two sentences before the pronoun. Replace the pronoun with your choice. Okay, so let's have, can you please, Noelia, read from the beginning till the end?
Okay. Most investigators conclude that certain facial expressions suggest the same emotions in all people. Moreover, people in diverse cultures recognize the emotion manifested by the facial expressions. In classic research, Paul Ekman took photographs of people exhibiting the emotion of anger, disgust, fear, happiness, and sadness. He then asked people around the world to indicate what emotions were being depicted in them. Those queried ranged from European college students to members of the Four, a tribe that dwelled in the New Guinea highlands. All groups, including the Four, who had almost no contact with Western culture, agreed on the portrayed emotions. The Four also display familiar facial expressions when asked how they would respond if they were the characters in story that called for basic emotion response. Ekman and his colleagues more recently obtained similar results in a study of 10 cultures in which participants were permitted to report that multiple emotions were shown by facial expressions. The participants generally agreed on which two emotions were being shown and which emotion was more intense.
That's right. Okay. So basically, so here we're gonna have the question. Hold on, where's the question here? So basically the question is like, what does them refer to? Okay, what does them refer to? This them. Is it replacing emotions, people, photographs, or cultures? What is them reflecting? So what's the meaning here of them? What are they talking about? Emotions, people, photographs, cultures.
The people.
Okay, people.
Photographs of the
Photograph?
people.
Photographs?
People.
Yes,
Okay,
photograph.
okay. You, Alejandro, say photographs of people or photographs? What, which one?
The photographs of people.
Photographs. Okay, of people. Okay, but it's photographs. Okay, any other opinion here? I'm gonna run a poll, okay, again, so that I understand what's at stake here. Okay. Okay, so I'm running a poll again. Please write your answers. You think it's B, C, A, D? Which one is it? Okay. One person's missing. Okay, so I have a 50% chance. Okay, 50% is on C, and the other 50 it's on B. Okay, so he didn't ask people around the world to indicate what emotions were being depicted in them. Okay, let's read from here. In classic research, Paul Ekman took photographs of people exhibiting emotions. So photographs are people of anger, disgust, fear, happiness, and sadness. He then asked people around the world to indicate what emotions were being depicted. Depicted basically is shown, described, depicted, okay, in them. So as Alejandro said, they're talking about photographs of people, not people, photographs of people, but anyways, photographs. So it's C, photographs. Okay, so that's the answer here, C. Okay, any question? Any question regarding vocabulary here? Please, any question? Any word you don't understand? Please.
Yes, teacher. What's the
Yes.
meaning of for? The for also displayed.
I'm sorry, where? What are you saying?
The for. I don't understand that word.
Which line is it?
It's in, I don't know. Um,
Nine
11.
line. 9 line.
The for also displayed
4
familiar
lines
fashion.
below the word them.
Four. These four?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see.
I think it's a tribe because
The
it says
tribe. It's a
those
tribe.
where. What is
Yes.
queried?
Queried is question. Where is queried? What line is
Near
it?
them.
7?
Near them. The word them?
Near them. Oh, queried.
those-
Yes, question. Yes, question. Those questions. Queried. Question. Queried means preguntados. Los preguntados, los consultados, como question. Okay? So yes, 4 is like a tribe. You're not supposed to know that, but it's a tribe there. And of course, it's a tribe. Any other question there? Okay, no more questions. Then we're gonna go to the next type of question, which is insert text. Decide where to put the additional sentence frequency, one per passage. You're gonna have one per passage. Pay attention to connecting words like pronouns, transition words, and topic words. Keep insert in every space and pay attention to the text structure. You can read one sentence before and one after. Okay? So, can you please, Belén, can you please read from the beginning during Jackson till the end?
Okay, teacher. Look at the four numbers that indicate where the following sentence could be added to the passage. This new party argued against the policies of Jackson and his party in a number of important areas, beginning with the economy. During Jackson's second term, his opponents had gradually come together to form the Whig Party. Whigs and Democrats held different attitudes toward the change brought about by the market, banks, and commerce. The Democrats tended to view society as a continuing conflict between the people, farmers, planters, and workers, and a set of greedy aristocrats. This paper money as aristocracy of bankers and investors manipulated the banking system for their own profit. Democrats claimed and saved the nation's virtue by encouraging speculation and the desire for sudden
underneath wealth. The Democrats wanted the rewards of the market without sacrificing the features of a simple agrarian republic. They wanted the wealth that the market offered without a competitive changing society. The complex dealing, the dominance of urban centers, and the loss of independence that came with it.
Okay, so where can we fit this paragraph? Number 1, number 2, number 3. I'm gonna reset the poll. Okay, and I'm gonna ask you your opinion so that I can see where's the class. Okay, please respond. Is it A, B, C, or D? Where can you fit that? Number 1, number 2. Well, A is 1, B is 2, of course. Please respond. Where can you fit that? Okay, I have one response there. Two people who responded. 3, 5 missing. Okay, where can we fit this paragraph? Okay, I'm missing 5 people here. Please respond. Okay, I'm missing 4 people now. Please respond. Okay. I'm missing 2 people here. I'm missing 1 person. 1 person's missing. Okay, so basically these are the answers. Okay, people are like, I don't know who responded what. Okay, it's like the poll that we have at the end of the class. It's anonymous. A, B, C, or D. We have most people that say A. Then we have another 15% that's split it and they say B, C, or D. Let's see. So we're talking about a new party. What's a party? Can anybody tell me? What's a party?
Un partido político.
That's right. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's right. So we're talking about a party, a political party. So let's begin with that. So we should find somewhere where they talk about a party at the end, right? Because we're saying like this new party. Ok, es como si diríamos este nuevo partido. Entonces, lógicamente hay que buscar algún lugar donde hablen de algún partido. O sea, ¿dónde tendría sentido? Let's read. During Jackson's second term, his opponent had gradually come together to form the Whig Party. Okay, they formed a new party, which was the Whig Party. This new party argued against the policies of Jackson and his party in a number of important areas, beginning with the economy. Okay, so it fits in number 1 because they're talking about a party. Okay, let's continue reading. Let's go to number 2. Whigs and Democrats held different attitudes towards the changes brought about by the market, banks, and commerce. So if you put in number 2 this sentence, what party are you talking about? Are you talking about Whigs or Democrats? Okay, so that's something that if you really think about it, doesn't make any sense because you start like talking about 2 parties and their differences, and then you talk about a new party. Which of them is the new party? Doesn't make any sense. They're not talking about a party. They're talking about some positions of each party. Okay, so it's not 2. The Democrats tended to view society as a continuing conflict between the people, farmer planners, workers, and a set of greedy aristocrats. Okay, now they're talking about the Democrats. But is it new? Was it new at that time, the Democrat? Because they're talking about they're talking about forming a new party. The new party was the Whig Party. Okay, so the Democrats were very old by then. Okay, so you cannot put it in number 3 because the Democrats are not a new party. This paper money aristocracy of bankers and investors manipulated the banking system for their own profit. Democrats claim and sap the nation's virtue by encouraging the speculation and the desire for sudden unearned wealth. Again, they're talking about the Democrats, and they're not talking about specifically about the Democrats. They're talking about some of the Democrats' positions, their beliefs. Okay, so it doesn't make any sense to put it number 4. Therefore, it's number 1. It's number 1. Any question about this paragraph or anything? By the way, sap, here sap means like when you destroy, okay? Destroy, basically. Or drain. Okay, like sap the nation, like you drain, destroy, weaken the nation's virtue. That's the meaning of sap. Any other word here that you don't understand, fellas? You understand everything. Okay. That's number 1. Okay, so here we have also the summary questions. These questions ask you to summarize the main ideas of the passage. Frequency. It's the last question unless there is a categorized question. Okay, so we have either summary questions or categorized question at the end. Okay, you have one or the other. You must have understood the whole passage. Don't choose less important details. Okay, so basically here we have, like, we've read most of the passage, right? We've read most of the passage. During all the questions, we've read a lot of this week in Democrats and all the passage, basically, right? So with that being said, what summarizes the passage? What is true about what we have read? All the things. Okay, I think you can answer this. I think you can answer this. Okay, but you need to choose 3. Okay, you need to choose 3. The question, it's basically meaningless. Okay, it doesn't matter the question. There's no different question. If you have this type of question, you're basically being asked to select the 3 answers that represent the passage. That's the question. Okay. Besides what you have here, it doesn't matter. Okay. So, which is true here? A, B, C, D, E, or F? We have just 3. Which of them are true? So, the Democratic and Whig parties developed in response to the needs of competing economic and political constituencies. Is this true? Anybody knows?
Yes.
Yes, it's true. Thank you, Noelia. And it's true. Because it basically, yes, it's true. And why is it true? Because as we've read, remember, the Whigs were formed and they represented some different type of economic constituency than the one of the Democrats, right? Remember, the Whigs were strongest in the areas where the market was fully integrated, whereas the Democrats were strongest in rural areas where they didn't have any market integrated into their businesses, right? So that's right. A is correct. Let's go to B. During Andrew Jackson's 2 terms as president, he served as the leader of both Democratic and Whig parties. Is it true? Is it not?
False.
False, yes. It's false because he didn't serve as the leader of both. Remember, he was, of course, when he started out, it was the beginning, it was the head of the Democratic Party. Okay, so he was a Democrat. And he was, of course, president that shaped the power of the presidency. He was a strong president, but he was not the president or the member representative of the Whig Party. Okay, so this is false. The Democratic Party primarily represented the interest of the market, banks, and commerce. Is it true?
False.
False, that's right. It's not true. They didn't represent the interest of the market. They were actually isolated, people who were isolated from the market, right? So it's like the opposite. Okay, so it's not C. D, in contrast to Democrats, the Whigs favor government aid for education. Is this true or not?
No, false.
That's right. Why is it false?
I don't remember reading something about education. Maybe it wasn't
Yes.
that important, but it's not like the main idea.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So, well, they talk about education, but they talk about education not as a difference between the Whigs and the Democrat. They talk about it when they talk about the difference between Whigs from the North and then from the South. Remember? Aid to education. So, the Whigs from the northern sections believed that government should be should give aid to education, right? So they're not talking about Democrats. If it said here that the Whigs from the north favor aid, government aid for education, that would be true. But they're talking about Democrats. They don't mention Democrats' position towards aid for education, the government aid. Okay, so it's false. So we have A, that it's true, false, false, false. Therefore, E and F are true. A fundamental difference between Whigs and Democrats involved the importance of the market in society. That's right. And the role of the government in the lives of the people was an important political distinction between the two parties. That's also true. Okay, so those are the answers here. A, E, and F. You did pretty well. Okay, so then we have we have the category question. You have, as we said, we have this type of question at the end. If you don't have the summary question, you are gonna have the category question. Much detail, larger topics, frequency, last question, unless there's a summary question. The order does not matter. Might want to look back at the passage. You may need to match small details to large topic. For the ones that stand out, so choose the easy answer, please. Okay, so basically you're gonna have like this format where you need to drag like these options, like you're gonna drag this here, I don't know. This here, let's say this here. This here, you need to drag the options here to complete and to respond, okay? So basically, like that's another type of question, okay? So you need to drag the options here to the categories that you're gonna have. Here it says that you need to choose 3 answers to illustrate constructive process, okay? So that's red. And 2 are used to illustrate the destructive process, so that's blue. Okay, so basically we drag these 2 questions here and we drag 3 questions there. And that's gonna be it. Okay, so you're gonna have, of course, this is a summary question, basically it's basically the same because you need to know You need to know about all the passage. Basically, you can go back and you can read again. But as we did here, if we read the passage, if you read the passage once at the beginning and then read the passage or the paragraph corresponding to each question, I think you're gonna be pretty well off for this last question, okay? You're gonna be pretty well off. You're gonna have a very good idea of what's the possible answer here. Okay, so that's another type of question that you could have at the end. And okay, so that's all regarding all the types of questions that we're gonna have in the TOEFL, in the reading section. Okay, that's all regarding that. And of course, here we talk about Anki. I send you this Anki link with all the words, so please practice the words. We have more than 800 words there. You need to memorize all of them if you want to have a great TOEFL, okay? So it's very important that you memorize all of them if you want to have a great TOEFL. It's very important to have a great vocabulary here, because it's gonna be the thing that matters the most, okay? It's gonna be the thing that matters the most. And let me show you something else that we have that it's gonna complement your learning here. And I'm gonna show you here. We have Apoyo Académico, and we have some lessons here, okay? We have connectors 1, connectors 2, connectors 3. You can really learn this. Then you have also these other lessons that we have: noun, basic grammar structure and terms, and you have basically 12 lessons for you to learn. These are executive English lessons, and they're very interesting. Okay, you can learn, and it's pretty good material, okay, to complement your TOEFL education. So I'm gonna send you this link if you want to complement your TOEFL education and your English. I advise that you watch these videos. Okay, it would be great. It would be great if you do that. Okay, fellas. So, any question regarding all the things that we've seen today? Any question?
Teacher, each of these material that you sent us, I think that the connectors has a test.
Yes.
Yeah, because I wrote to that like the chat of the web. Yeah, like how can we ask the test of connectors?
Okay, so there's a difficulty regarding the connectors test. I don't know what happened with the platform, but you can have the lessons, okay? Until now, until we fix the test, because the test is given in a different web page. You can watch the lesson, and I don't know when it's gonna be fixed, the web page for the test. But don't worry about the test. Don't worry about the test. Just watch the lesson. We're gonna have that connectors lesson also here in the class. We're gonna see connectors. So if you already watched the videos, that's great. You don't need to take the test because we have this technical issue. And we're gonna have that class also here in the TOEFL in the listening section. That means that next week we're gonna have that. We're gonna have that lesson. We're gonna see connectors. That's a very important part of our journey. We're gonna see connectors. Okay, so we're gonna have next week. On Monday we're gonna have the other, like we're gonna have a class like yesterday. We're gonna practice basically. I know that's not like, it's very important that you practice. That's why we incorporated that into the class, that you practice all these things. It's sort of boring, but it's necessary that you do that. And next week, we're going to have these two classes of theory. One of them is going to be connectors, and the other one is going to be exclusively about the listening section. And then we're going to have also 2 practical classes of listening where we're going to practice like in the reading section, right? We're going to have some tests where you need to send me your answers to WhatsApp and basically practice the topic. That's something very important also. Okay, so don't worry about a test. We're having a technical issue, but if you took the lesson, that's great. Please watch the video, it's very important. And when it's fixed, I'm gonna send you the link, but anyways, you were gonna have that class here next week, okay? I don't know if there's any other question regarding this reading section. If not, I'm gonna send you the poll for today, and I'm gonna see you on Monday, remember? And please don't forget your simulations. Please send it to me through WhatsApp. I'm gonna review that. As I told you, please send me your results until Sunday. If you want to have your,
what tests do we have to take? The volume 1 or 2?
either of them, you can
Okay.
choose. Okay, question number 1 from either of them. Okay, so okay, thank you very much, fellas. I think that everybody responded to the question. So that's it until Sunday.